Good afternoon. This is Dr. Michelle Ashby here with Making Progress with Mayor Leroy Sullivan. Um, I have a few things to talk about today, a lot of the things that we have going on in the city, but there's one thing I wanted to address before I begin. We are all on social media and we scroll, and there's a lot of negative talk on social media about everything, our administration, about our city, our government, all of these things. But the one thing that I wanted to discuss, I saw a actual reel today on Facebook and it disturbed me a lot. And so I wanted to talk to you about it. So this reel was someone misrepresented Donaldsonville by placing a reel of an African school with African children getting their lunch. And I thought it was degrading. I thought it was a horrible representation of who Donaldsonville was because someone even asked, is this Donaldsonville? So here's my comment, because I don't like to go back and forth on Facebook with anyone, and some people I choose just to ignore. But this is for everyone. We have a lot of great things happening in the city. We have received a lot of grant money, a lot of government money. Of course, we have a lot of industry coming to Donaldsonville. But if you are portraying Donaldsonville as this place that is so poor and so desperate and we have nothing, then how are these industries going to come in, or these businesses? We want business here in the city, but a business will not come to a place where they won't make money. So if you're representing us as a so poor population that we can't even afford to have food, why would a business come here when they won't be able to get the revenue that they desire for their business, as well as helping our community? Economic development is a real thing. We do need it here. But if we're going to attract investors, if we're going to attract people of substance that will bring great businesses, great grocery stores, clothing, coffee shops. You all have mentioned so many things that you want here in the city. But if you have someone that is misrepresenting Donaldsonville and comparing it to a poor school in Africa, then if I am an investor, I am not going to want to come to that place. I'm not going to want to go there because I'm not going to make any money. No one's going to patronize my business because you are so poor you can't even afford food. Why would you do that to your community that you say you love? And so with that being said, Donaldsonville community, we love our city. Those of us that are here that have made we've made the commitment to do things for our city. We want to attract people here in our city. We have to change that narrative, because that's a narrative of lies. That is a narrative that will push away investors instead of bringing them here. Yes, there are things that we need, but we can't do it ourselves. We need outside help. But if you portray to the world that we can't even afford food and they think that that is how we're living, they're not going to come. So I just had to get that out, because I think that if we keep perpetuating this lie of so poor, then no one's going to come to help us for the long run. They'll give you a piece of bread here and there, but they're not going to settle and really make Donaldsonville what it should be and can be. So let's change that narrative. Let's not feed into that negativity. Let's, cancel that. Cancel that culture of we're so poor that we can't even feed ourselves. So with that being said, I'm done, but I had to get that out because I love my city and I love you all, and you all love your city as well, or you wouldn't be here. So, because guess what? No one's holding a gun to your head and making you stay here. If you ever want to leave, you can go, right? So, but those of you that are here, you're here because you want to be. So let's not continue to say that narrative that we are, so destitute that we can't do anything for ourselves, or we can't, we have nothing, because we have a lot of rich culture here. We have a lot of rich people willing to give what they have so that Donaldsonville can be great. So let's do that. All right, I'm done with that. So yesterday was Ascension Parish Day at the Capitol, which is a great example of what we have here in Donaldsonville. So Donaldsonville was definitely represented at the Capitol on yesterday. The mayor was there. Some people from the city were there. We were able to give out some swag. If you see our swag here, we had some water bottles and, some lunch bags. So we were able to do that for the people that came through, talk with them about Donaldsonville. I met some really great companies that want to do some business here in Donaldsonville. And that's what we want to attract. Those are the kind of people that we want to attract to our city that can help us build, right? And help us become what we have been and what we have always been. So let's make Donaldsonville great again by being, open to others coming to help it for the long run. But it was a really good day at the Capitol. So we were represented. Cane Sugar had some toffee there, brought to you by Ascension Credit Union. They had some things there. I think Noel Distillery was there, but we really did have a good time. So if you were not able to make it yesterday, come next year. Last year was great. Oh, and Downbeat Louisiana, the band was phenomenal. So you definitely want to come out next year if you weren't able to make it this year. All right. Town hall meeting. So we have a town hall meeting scheduled for next Wednesday. That is May 28th at 6 p.m. Your mayor and your city council members will be at this town hall meeting. There will be a Q&A session for you to ask questions, for you to speak about ideas, for you to talk about things that are happening in your district. So they're open to hearing what it is that you want to be done, that you are willing to contribute, how you can be a part of the solution. Because listen, the more we talk about it, we're just being a part of the problem. But let's put our heads together and be a part of the solution. Nothing is great, but everything can be greater, right? We can do more. So that that town hall meeting is next Wednesday, May 28th at the Lemon Center at 6 p.m. I will also talk about project updates, what's happening in the city, what has the city council done, what are they doing, what they are continuing to do. We will talk about that as well. On the 30th, there will be a cancer screening at the WAG Center. So there's a cancer screening at the WAG Center. Walk-ins are welcome, and that starts at 9 a.m. from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. And then the library, I always tell you about the library. The library is phenomenal here in Donaldsonville. Let's patronize that library more. We need to see kids coming in and out of that library, whether at the WAG Center or whether at the one on Mississippi Street. We really need to take full advantage of all that they have to offer. But they will be kicking off their summer reading program, and there's a party going on, and that's going to be at the WAG Center. That starts at 10 a.m. There's going to be a mobile video gaming theater, food, and of course the fire department will be there. And so that's at the WAG Center on May 30th. All right, so we don't have a whole lot going on in the left for the month of May, but let's talk about June. We got some great things happening in June. Of course, our annual Wing Fest is on June 7th, which is the first weekend of June. So June 7th, starting at 12 p.m., registration starts. So if you are that person that says, you know what, your wings are the best, that you can cook wings better than anybody, and that they're will blow your mind wings, bring them to the Wing Fest. We want you there. That will start at 12. First prize is $200. So come on and get a piece of that pot. There will be fried, barbecue, naked, and of course, too hot to handle categories. So come on out to the Wing Fest next Saturday morning, starting at 12. The actual judging will be at 3. And where you will get your prizes, your trophies, your medals, and all those good things. And then, of course, that night is Live at Crescent. So, we have a great band every Saturday, every first Saturday of the month. So this Saturday is Justin Garner and his band. They will be at the park. Justin Garner can sing. Like, he is the real deal. And so he is going to be live at Crescent Park on next Saturday, June 7th from 6 to 9. Okay, so make sure you come on out. We have food trucks, vendors, live music. It's going to be a lot of fun. Come on out. We definitely enjoy to hear the live band and the live music. Now, let's talk about Ascension Listening Tour. So Ascension Parish Government has put on a listening tour for their citizens, for the people of Ascension Parish. So they had to reschedule, but the new date is June 11th at the Lemon Center, and that's June 11th at 6 p.m., the Ascension Listening Tour, and that is a Tuesday night. So make sure you come out because, again, we in Ascension Parish, the West Bank of Ascension, the city of Donaldsonville, we want to hear you. We want you to be happy, prosperous, thriving, and growing here in Donaldsonville. We want to ensure that everything you need is here so you don't have to go anywhere else, not for a job, not for education, not for your child's education. Everything that you want, we want to make sure it's here for you. So come on out to Ascension Listens and their tour, and that is again June 11th at 6 p.m. And of course, this is the month of Juneteenth, the Juneteenth Freedom Celebration this month. Now, this will be the 30th annual Juneteenth Music Festival here in the city of Donaldsonville. So we're super excited about that. Now, that will be on the 14th, but there are many things leading up to that. So including on that Thursday, there's an author talks, Daniel Brooks, and the name of his book, The Accent of Color, that will be at the WAG Center. And then there's a food drive on that Saturday. And of course, all this information is on the Donaldsonville website, as well as the Juneteenth Facebook page. Now, if you did not catch the interview last week with the Business of the Month, Miss LaDarby Williams, Germ Slayers, it was phenomenal. She has some really great things to say. I think her business is just through the roof. It's definitely going to be a Fortune 500 business. But go back and watch that. She is surely one that wants to do some great things here in Donaldsonville. She is putting her feet to the fire. She was out last night at the Capitol, just networking and talking to different people. She is one to know. So definitely go back and check out that video from last week. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, because again, we want to hear you, right? We want to hear what you have to say. We want to put together a team. The mayor wants to put together a team of innovative thinkers, strategic thinkers, people that are going to be a part of the solution and not the problem, people that don't just see the negative, but have an eye for what can be, not looking directly at what is, but what can we do to ensure that everyone gets what's needed, not what's wanted, but what's needed for them, for their children, for the legacy passed down. There's a lot of great things happening here in the city. And so the mayor is putting together a strategic planning committee, right? So that strategic planning committee will be run by the mayor. And so we want people that will have those strategic thoughts. How can we get it done? Not just put something on the table and walk away, but put it on a table, plan it out. What do we need to do? Where do we need to go? Who do we talk to? What resources do we need? All of these things. So if you are that person, send in your application. You can find your application on, it's on the Donaldsonville LA Facebook page. If you want to take a picture of it, pull it off. It's actually on our website. There's a PDF on the website. You can download it as well. You can come to City Hall and pick up a copy. And then when you get that application, you want to either mail it back to the city of Donaldsonville, give it to the mayor's secretary, Ms. Gwinnett Johnson, or you can fax it to us. That information is on the application. Now, there will be a limited number of members, so go ahead and get your application in so that you can be considered. Not all will be chosen. No matter how you decide to send your application, not all will be chosen. Whether you certify it or bring it up here with a wagon and a horse, it will not be chosen. Everybody will not be chosen, okay? But we still want you to put your application in, because guess what? You may have that one thing that someone needs, but your positivity for your city is what we're looking for, right? Now, you must live in the city of Donaldsonville or live or work in the city. Let me stop. You must live or have a business in the city of Donaldsonville or the West Bank of Ascension. So again, you must live or work in the city of Donaldsonville or the West Bank, have a business, in this area. And so again, we want to make sure that we get all of your applications. When the deadline is, we're not sure yet. The mayor is still debating. We have a lot of applications coming in, but soon it will close soon. So definitely get your application in so that we can look and make sure that you are that person that will help us to get things done. All right. And again, let me say lastly, this last city council meeting is this Tuesday at 6 o'clock here at the chamber. That is May 27th at 6 o'clock. So city council meeting. If you want to come out, you can have public comments to whatever is on the agenda. If there's something that you would like to speak about prior to, make sure that you speak with your city councilman and that or city councilwoman, and they will make sure that we get it on the agenda for you. But again, come out to city council meetings, see how things are done, talk with the mayor, talk with your district councilman, and then we can move on from there. But it's all about growing our city, moving our city forward, the positivity of what can be, not the negativity of what you see. Because what you see here is not always truth. It's just something you see, but there's a bigger picture. And we know that there's so much more that Donaldsonville can be. And we're digging to find out, to pull out that treasure, right, that Donaldsonville is. And we want you to be a part of that. So again, I'm Dr. Michelle. I thank you so much for taking the time to watch. I thank you again for watching with Making Progress with Mayor Leroy Sullivan every week on Thursdays at 2 p.m. You can also find the ones from before on the website. They are under Making Progress under the community tab. So I thank you again. As the mayor says, we pray for you, pray for one another, and we pray for our great city. Thank you so much and have a great day.